Whether your beer is in a bottle, can, or glass, kick back and relax. It's Better on Draft.
Welcome, everybody. This is episode 272, I believe, of the Better on Draft podcast. My name is Ken. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. We are going to be live the next 3 weeks. That's December 4th, 11th, and 18th. We will be off on Christmas and New Year's, and back the week after for Dry January. Speaking of dry, the Detroit Lions have lost again. Therefore, I am still staying sober. So I got myself just some hopped up seltzers right now. I got a Black Cherry Day Pack from Athletic, as well as a carbonated hop beverage, Michigan Hop Water. It's coming from Beards, one of our sponsors over at the Michigan Brewery Map app. So just kind of drinking some hopped seltzer. I will crack open a Untitled Art I've got in a little bit. But just so you guys know, head over to our Facebook page. There is a giveaway. That's right, a giveaway going on right now. You have the opportunity to win one of two very, very well sought out beers, especially here in Michigan. One of them being a Doppio Medianoche, which is, again, a well sought out beer, and then a drafting table Malo. So you're going to have the opportunity to try one of those two beers. All you have to do is guess who the Detroit Lions will actually beat first. There are 6 games left, and there are obviously 7 options. The 7th option means that they don't win. So pick the team that wins. We will lock it, though, before kickoff against the Vikings on Sunday the 4th, I believe, or whatever that date is. That's when it's going to get kicked off. I'm going to take all the names, so you can't change your vote. No messing around or anything like that. I'm going to have all the names, and then when a winner is chosen, we will give it away. I'm done talking. Let's throw it over and see what everyone's drinking, starting with Dan.
Hey, since it's Black Friday, I busted out a BCBS.
Speaking of Black Friday, Wendy, what did you pick up today?
I picked up a drafting table, their barrel-aged Buzz Blanket. Buzz Blanket is one of my favorite beers of all time. I think it's just an amazing beer, and the fact that they barrel-aged it makes me really excited. It was kind of a surprise to us. They didn't tell us that they were going to barrel-age it, so woohoo.
And Rob, what do you got over there?
Right now, I'm in honor of Nick, since Nick has not been here for a bit, double fisting right now with the Sin to Win hard cider from Blackgrass. This is apple cider, basically, with vanilla bean and Vietnamese cinnamon. And then the Super Baked from Great Notion is a tart ale that's brewed with blueberries, lemon, and cinnamon and vanilla.
Well, before we get into the news, I want to start off with a game. I've got a game for you guys, and not our typical, not our typical King of the Hill, which we play every night after the news segment. This is going to be a little bit different, and trust me when I tell Wendy, just because the game is it a craft beer or PlayStation 5 game? I went through all this, and I got a lot wrong. So I have a feeling there's some that we'll know just because there's a lot of good Michigan beers in here. But we're going to go through. We'll see if you guys can name the game. And then after the game's over, I'll tell you guys where you can try to play it, guess it. Those of you listening, you can see it and share with your friends. Starting with Rob. Rob, again,
yeah.
Craft beer or PlayStation 5 game? Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw. PS5.
No, Buzzsaw is an IPA from Arbor Brewing. That's like super local.
Yeah.
How long it's been since I've been there?
Dan, Dawn Patrol.
Dawn? Did you say Paw Patrol or Dawn Patrol?
Dawn Patrol.
I don't know. Let's go with PS5.
Incorrect. It is a beer from Aslan Brewing Co. Wendy, Atomic Heart.
I'm going to go with PS5.
That is correct. It is a PlayStation 5 game. Rob, Cliff Jumper.
Cliff Jumper.
Sounds like an Atari 2600 game.
It does. It does. I'm about to go break out my emulator stash and see if I have that. Cliff Jumper. I'm gonna stay PS5 until I get so PS5.
Nope, it is from the brewery Country Boy Brewing. Cliff Jumper IPA.
Oh, Country Boy. Damn it.
Dan, Stampede.
Yeah. Stampede. Jesus, I don't know. PS5 game.
Now, that sounds like an Atari game.
That is a gold lager from Avery Brewing Company.
Damn.
Wendy, Cloud Harvest.
Oh, I'm gonna go with beer.
That is correct, from Rheingeist. You are 2 for 2. Rob, King Oddball.
King Oddball. PS5.
That is correct. It is a PS5 game.
Eventually.
Dan, Fist City.
What?
Fist
Oh boy.
City.
What kind of? I'm gonna go with PS5 and wonder what kind of game this could possibly be.
It is not a PS5 game. It is a pale
Is it Revolution?
Ale from Revolution. Yep. Wendy.
I did not need to go in the gutter like that. Damn it.
Wendy, Solar Sailor.
PS5.
Incorrect. It's from Crew Fermentation Project. It's an IPA. A lot of these are IPAs. Rob, Phantom Forest.
I'll go with a beer.
Correct, from Mad Tree Brewing. Dan, let's see if you can get on the board. Tin Hearts.
I don't know. All right, let's say beer.
No, it isn't.
I quit. Fuck this game.
Wendy's, Stonefly.
Beer.
No, it is a PS5 game. Rob.
50-50, I'm not doing bad.
No, Sky Kraken.
Good Lord.
Kraken.
That's where do you think I was? You thought you'd think I said what? I heard
it was a Sky Cracker.
I'm gonna go with a beer on that.
Correct, from Fremont Brewing in Seattle. Dan.
Oh my God.
Slugfest. Jesus Christ. If that's a beer, what could it possibly be? So I got to say game.
It's a beer from Summit Brewing Company.
Does it have slugs in it? I mean,
it is a juicy pale ale with citrus hop, and that's all I can read on the can from the front. Wendy, Scorpion Bowl.
PS5.
No, that is a IPA from Stone. The Scorpion Bowl IPA, a punch to the stinger.
Which means I've never had it.
Rob, Biomutant.
Game.
Biomutant is a game, yes.
Hey.
Dan, Jam Session. Can you get one right?
I don't. Let's say beer.
That is correct.
Oh, hey. I don't hate this game anymore.
From Noda Brewing. Wendy, Todd the Axeman.
Beer.
Yep, that's from Surly. Rob, Dead by Daylight.
That's a game.
It is a game.
God, that's an easy one.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Too easy.
Rupture.
Oh, Jesus. Let's say game.
It's a beer from Odell Brewing. And finally, Wendy. Hell Let Loose.
Beer.
It is a game. It is a PlayStation.
That's what I thought.
And Wendy obviously gets does a lot of traveling, so she gets out and would probably gone to a lot of the breweries that we've seen. Dan and Rob both play games, and obviously we all struggled with this game. But that's why I chose it, because it was a lot of fun. I knew Wendy would know the beer, because she knows the beer really, really well. You guys would know the games, but obviously nobody knew anything.
Nobody has a PS5. Shit.
Seems.
I got one sitting here. I never play it though.
Oh.
Don't they usually make the games for multiple?
Sometimes.
Yeah, like sometimes. Like there's one of the games on here that I've played on the computer, but yeah, that was from Porch Drinking, our friends over at Porch Drinking. So go check it out. Test your friends to see how they would do on the test, to see if they know what games are on PS5 versus what's a beer. But
Tricky.
I want to get into the news a little bit. You've
got a new message in your private terminal.
What?
Sorry. Just when I was making sure I was turning off the notifications, it goes off. Sorry about that.
That's all right, Rob. We have going on right now a can shortage. Actually, let's play the little news segment. Rob, you don't have to chug for this one.
Thank you.
But anyways,
Here is Robert with the beer news.
all right. And with the news going on within the world, there is a very interesting segment that I would like to talk about, and that is with the mixture of things going on for aluminum, bringing aluminum into the country, between tariffs, backups, shortages, every single word that goes on with the economy right now. Ball, which is a major can maker, is changing their pre-printed order. I'm about to sneeze. I am so sorry. Oh, damn. Okay. Ball is doing their pre-printed can. So they're changing their minimum order. So originally their minimum order was 1 truckload, which is about 200,000 cans. They are upping it to over 1 million cans for pre-printed cans to be shipped to a place. Now, how many is 1 million cans? That's actually 3,090 barrels of beer. So that is a huge chunk of beer for pre-printed cans. Obviously, the cans that I'm drinking from right now, and if you actually go look at your cans, you would see if they're wrapped like mine is. So both Beards as well as Athletic, I have wrapped cans. These are pre-printed. So these are like your Budweisers, your Bud Lights, the cans that aren't wrapped. They are just exactly what they are, which is in turn bringing a investment from a place in Milwaukee, which I think we might see a little bit further as small businesses begin printing smaller orders. Obviously, with smaller orders and smaller businesses, prices are going to go up. One, because you can't get it at Ball anymore, so they have to go to one of these smaller places. These smaller places have a lot more overhead that they need to pay for. That's makes their bottom. They got to make money. You can't just do it for free. It's not a sustainable business if you're doing it for free. So I'm curious. We've talked about it before about beer going up in price. This is going to up the aluminum can price to about 30% higher. Do we feel like we drink enough to feel this burden if they put 100% of the extra cost onto us? Starting with Rob. Yeah, Rob, you're muted. Congratulations. Welcome to the internet.
Damn it. Did it. All right. I would say that, with 30%, if it's increasing by 30%, we eat that cost as a consumer. I kind of feel like we're already paying $6, $7, $8 a can for things already. So like what's maybe an extra 50 cents to $1? I don't know how much that 30% is going to, how that's going to show up on, the, whatchamacallits, the sticker price. But I mean, if we're going to pay it. I don't see how we're going to just stop enjoying craft beer and going to, Molson or Coors or Budweiser to forego paying that extra. Well, I think for those, you're going to pay them that extra anyway. I mean, this obviously is going to be different because it's Budweiser and you're paying $5, $6 for craft beer as opposed to like $1 a can for like a Dirty 30 or some shit like that.
Well, when we're purchasing beer, we're purchasing a flavor. We're not everyone buys beer for the alcohol. Just as we had two routes on, a lot of people purchase beer for the flavors. I mean, I'm drinking something that's way more expensive than just buying, drinking tap water. This is just water with hops, just as much as I have cans upon cans of Hoplark behind me, which is just hopped tea. But those are $3.50 cans of just hop tea. And when you compare the amount of liquid you get versus absolutely no alcohol, no intoxication, nothing like that. As I've grown older, I've learned that I'm drinking and I'm paying for the things that I want instead of necessarily paying for the things that I need. I don't need to get drunk. I want to drink something good. Like, I don't need to. And I mean, how many of us when we were younger were buying cheap bottle, fifths of vodka or whiskey or whatever, because we were looking for the drunk. We weren't looking for the flavor. But as we've started drinking craft beer, we're realizing, wow, there's a lot of flavor, which is why when we buy, like Wax Wings just had like a $35 bottle release that pissed off a bunch of people too. Because there was there was a lot of pissed off people on their Facebook page because it was a raffle to get in to buy it, and they didn't keg anything because they wanted to bottle every single drop. They said we would rather get it to as many people as possible than to keg it and put it on tap in our tap house. So they got as many bottles. But when we're looking at these orders with the can prices, a couple weeks ago we were talking about the toppers and how much the toppers are costing. Now the cans are going to cost more. I'm sure if you pay attention, like the ingredients are costing more too. Like the beer is going to go up next year, no matter what. And are we going to buy the same inventory or are we going to spend the same amount of money? With that in mind, I am Ken. We're here with Dan, Wendy, and Rob. If you're listening via the podcast, obviously join us for this shit show live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And you too can see when we don't fuck up, because even though we've been doing this for 18 months, oddly, I mean, this is the first time we've had this terribleness, but we got Small Brewery Sunday coming up here in a couple days. Small Brewery Sunday is an attempt from the Brewers Association to get you out to the breweries this weekend. Obviously, you have to do something because there's Black Friday and Drinksgiving and Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday and whatever other insert day is there.
Giving Tuesday.
Is that a thing? Giving Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Giving Tuesday.
Throw away your leftovers Wednesday.
Get on a treadmill Thursday.
There's a lot of things with that. So we got Small Business Saturday, plenty of places for you to go this weekend to go try out breweries. If you're in the state of Michigan, folks, download the Michigan Brewery Map app, mibeermap.com. It's free to use, and you can find out all the breweries that are open on Sundays and find out what time they're open to, just so you don't go there when they're closed, but plenty of options. Also, there is an option to find out if they serve NA options that they make. So NA beers, ciders, NA wines. I have a few NA wines behind me that I haven't had an opportunity to crack open yet. But definitely go check that out. Rob, what kind of article you got for me?
Let's see. I was going to start. This was one that I was going to mention a couple weeks ago. So I was really curious what you guys thought about this. So a couple weeks ago, I saw that there was a beer making competition that was done out in the UK. So basically, Amazon Prime decided that what the world obviously needs right now is a reality TV show featuring teams competing to see which team can make a beer which will be sold commercially. So this show is called Beer Masters, which actually it features singer-songwriter James Blunt, which when I looked at this article, I had to do like a triple take because I was like, wait, that James Blunt, your beautiful singing guy, James Blunt? And yes, it actually is him. And a head brewer and beer sommelier, Jaego Wise, both of them as hosts. So essentially it is 5 teams. They're all from different countries. So it's UK, France, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. They're all competing in regular challenges to see who makes the best beer. Now, from what I saw on the first episode, that there's no eliminations. It's just the 5 teams. There's no eliminations. They all just make a beer and get judged on that beer. And then at the end, then is a decision of who wins the competition. So no snippy elimination catchphrases, which I don't even know what you could even come up with, like your hops have fallen, take off, or some shit like that. I don't know. So it premiered on Amazon Prime UK. So pretty much either you have to be in the United Kingdom or have some way to use a VPN to make it look like you're in the UK to be able to watch this show. And it's basically the first challenge that was up there, at least for what I saw in the first episode, was they had to make an easy drinking beer, which for a moment there, I thought that was pretty much the only parameter that they were going to be given. What it turned out was that they had to take they had to make an easy drinking beer by combining 2 different styles. So I'm going to start with that question with you 3 is, if you were to make an easy drinking beer combining 2 styles, what 2 styles would you use? I'm going to go with Dan first.
Ooh, that's a damn good question. Way to put me on the spot. 2 easy drinking styles that we're going to like blend together.
That's what it seems. I still have to watch the whole episode, but that's what it looked like, at least what it sounded like what they were doing.
So I'm going to take the easy road here. I'm going to go with a standard stout and porter, blend those together and see what we get.
Did you say stout and porter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, different styles of malt, so it's good to go. Or one that actually, I can't really take credit for this, but now you're starting to see more stouts and barley wines mixed together. That's another good option to go with to try. But I don't know if those are easy to drink type of beers.
Well, Bottle Logic did their Dark Rituals, which it is an easy drinking beer, but the problem is that it's also like 15%.
I mean, if we really want to go there, you've got the Utopia's barrel-aged worldwide stout now. I mean, you want to talk about going for a punch in the gut. If you want to go, I don't know if you can call that easy going either, but
right. Yeah, I think when they were saying easy, I think their intent is to try and keep it under 6%. But again, I didn't finish the episode, so I might try and check it out.
That's subjective, anyways. Easy going for me is probably a lot different than what these guys are thinking.
Right, and this is easy going in the United Kingdom. What's easy going to them is going to be different easy going to us.
Yep, absolutely.
So, Wendy, what did you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go on, Wendy.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say when I was younger, I did a lot of beer mixing, just because I was young and dumb, and wasteful of beer, and I loved, and I'm not gonna lie, a mixture of Guinness and Killian's.
So were you making things like black and tans, or
yeah,
you just
like a
black and tan,
like a black and tan, but it was just a black and red is what I called it. And
I could see that being good.
I loved the mixture of Guinness with that. So like I would go to wherever we were, whatever bar, because most bars at that time, Killian's would be on draft, Guinness would always be on draft. And you would just do a half and half. Can I get a Guinness and Killian's? And they'd always charge me for a full Guinness because it was more expensive.
There was one place that I used to go to down in Wyandotte. They would make what they called a snake bite, where it was half Guinness, half cider. And it would it'd be this interesting blend because obviously, what is it that I believe the Guinness is more dense than the cider. I think it was the other way around, but they would sit half and half where, it would basically just have this black cloud sitting on one half of the glass and you see the cider in the other. And the way they mix was pretty decent, but I don't think I'll ever do that again. Wendy?
So are they making a brand new beer out of two styles, like mixing the recipes, or are they actually mixing two types of beers? Because if they're mixing two types of beers, I would definitely, one of my favorite mixes is the apricot bright at Dragon Mead.
Castle Bright?
Castle Bright.
Mm-hmm.
It's the apricot wheat and their triple. The
Final Absolution.
Final Absolution. My favorite beer ever, and I can't speak.
All right, I think we're cutting Wendy off because she can't remember the name of Final Absolution.
My favorite beer, and I can't remember it. But I was thinking of I was thinking of other triples at the time too.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably do something like that because I love a triple. And when you add the other flavors into it, it kind of, when you mix it with the other beers, it makes it a little bit, kind of cuts it down a little bit. So it's not quite as.
I was going to say, get like banana hefty. And apricot. I'm curious how that would taste now.
It's delicious. It's one of my favorite things to mix ever.
I'll have to get some Castle Bright. I've got behind me some Allagash triple and some bombers that I could easily, dilute a little bit by adding some Castle Bright to it.
I also like the Wango from Atwater mixed with a triple. It's fantastic.
Some good beer blending going on here. So another thing with this show here, and like I said, I'm going to go back to it, and now that I've finished my binging of Cowboy Bebop this yesterday, that I got some time to go through the show. But I'm curious of another thing is that obviously with the craze that we have around here, that is the Great British Bake Off that everyone watches. Myself and my wife Dina included. Do you think a show like this, in having beer brewing competitions, would really work in the U.S.? And actually, I'm actually curious if we ever even had one, because I didn't really do too much research, but I was kind of thinking, I felt like we've had a brewing competition show before.
We had ish. From what I recall, it was called Beerland from Vice. And it was one of the Anheuser-Busch breweries. And it was some woman who managed the brewing system at that brewery, traveled the country, and there was like a homebrew competition. And then if they did well, I don't know if they got to brew contract somewhere or they got to brew at that brewery, because I know they went to a bunch of different cities. And since it
Wait a minute. Wasn't Beerland that show that came to Detroit and made us look like we needed UN to step in?
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, there was. It was definitely. I mean, like most travel shows, there was a lot of blight porn. Where, obviously when you're coming to Detroit, you have to show Michigan Grand Central, and you have to show the Packard plant, and you have to show, the same 6 buildings over and over again.
Right.
Because that is Detroit as a whole. Yeah, they did come to Detroit. I don't remember much about the show. I want to say we were supposed to talk to the person who ran the show at one point, and we were supposed to do a collaboration with them. But I remember watching at least the Detroit episode, now that you mention it. And yeah, it was definitely a very interesting show. The problem with comparing it to like the Great British Bake Off or Master Chef or anything like that, like you have instant like gratification, instant reaction for a lot of these shows.
Yeah.
You cook something and it doesn't take 4 weeks or 6 weeks for it to finish. Like, and that's just, some beers, not ever. Like if you're, lagering and you want to go for the full 45 days, or you want it to sit, or you want to barrel. Like there are so many things. Like there's nothing that you cook that takes weeks to cook.
Right.
For a competition. So there are a lot of homebrew competitions in the state and in the country that you can participate in, and a lot of them, the competitions, you show up, you bring your set, and they provide you with the ingredients, and you're making it yourself. And there are a lot of great home brewers that turned into brewers that we've interviewed, like Zach Topinski over at Urban Rest. But I don't know, like I would watch a show that is, like a craft beer competition, but I can't think of anything that it would work.
All right. Wendy, what about you?
Would I like to see something like that?
Yeah, see something like that here.
I don't know necessarily about a competition, but I would like to see a show where they travel around to the different breweries and talk to them and get their stories. I think that would be awesome. Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Well, what was the Shannon Long TV show called? Beer Brews America.
Yes.
And somebody else took over too after she left the show. So there was a want for them a while ago. Like, remember when there was a Dogfish Head show? There was a Dark Horse show. There was a want for, and those were more entertaining reality, like, A Day in the Life. Whereas Pure Brews was more documentarian, and, kind of like what we do here, tell stories and talk to people. I just don't think there's much else that that enough people want to watch.
Right. And maybe it is just kind of a thing where it's like, now for some reason I have like when LCD Sound System was retiring and they did their last concert and they called it Shut Up and Play the Hits. It's like, basically just give me the beer. I don't want to see how it's done. I just want the shit and I want to enjoy it and not have to sit here and watch an hour-long program of how the beer is made, because I don't know how it's going to taste. I can't drink it through the TV.
Yeah.
But Dan, what do you think?
I agree with you. I'm kind of in that camp too. Just give me the beer, because you're right. You're going to sit there. It's kind of like watching Triple D. Like, you're going to watch them make all this food and everything. Unless you're going to be able to get to that place, you're never going to know what it actually tastes like. You can watch Guy Fieri, or who is he? He looks like one of the guys from Insane Clown Posse or whatever, or that other band that they all look the same. I think they're all the same person. But honestly, if you can't taste the beer and you can't get it, I mean, it's going to be like, what am I watching this for? Just to get blue balls over whatever they're doing. Like, oh, I bet that's good. And then if you eventually get it, then it sucks. Then that ruins the show. So
I think that would be kind of interesting too, is that if they were to do something like that here and do some sort of distribution of the beer to then kind of have like a battle of the beers from Ashley's Rest in Hops, where people would just go to Ashley's and whoever whichever brand got bought the most would be the winner. Obviously, the problem with that is that the process of making the beer, waiting the 4+ weeks, canning it or bottling it, distributing it to wherever the competition is going to happen. I mean,
it makes it tough.
An entire season of this show would take almost a year just to produce.
Yeah, it'd be pretty tough.
That's would, for sure. But now that I'm thinking about it, it would be a really good, if you could plan it like seasonal subscription where you have maybe a 12 episode season, and when you buy it, like, you buy a 12 pack of the beer that goes with the season, and it's almost like an advent calendar where you drink one of the beers for each episode. So you get
totally buy into that.
A 12 pack that, you could pull it off with Michigan, or you could pull it off with like Great Lakes areas, but like, all right, here's your 12 episodes. Here's a beer for each episode, and we're going to talk about that beer on this episode, and you can now drink it as you release it.
You would have to have a prep team ahead of time to get, like, you would have to know who your team was early, get them all prepped, and have them bring the beer before you actually went out to
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
tape it. But I mean, there was a lot of background work there that would need to be done, but it could happen.
yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is that here we're talking about like a way around the situation, and it still seems like a huge pain in the ass just to
Well,
do it.
Hey, Larry Bell's got money. He can executive produce. We'll get Zane Lamprey to host. I think we're set to go.
Yeah, but that would imply Zane Lamprey comes to Michigan to record an episode, and he has never done that in any of his shows.
Yes.
Oh, Zane.
Well. All right. We're handing it off to. Do you have another one, Ken?
I do. I have plenty of things to talk about. But Dan, did you have a news article to bring in today?
I do, and and I apologize I didn't share it with you guys beforehand because this is more of an opinion type of thing because I want to see what everyone's kind of temperature is on this. The article is great about what's going on. Found out today Russian River is planning on hosting their Pliny the Younger celebration in February of next year, 2022. But what that makes me think of now, especially with a new surprise COVID variant dropping yesterday for everyone on Thanksgiving, and Europe shutting off flights from a good part of Africa now moving forward. Are we doing this too soon? Did everything get back to everyone thinking everything's fine, everything's back to normal? Because the scare now is that this variant says, fuck you to your vaccines. So what's everyone's opinion? Did we move about this too quick? And should we maybe start backing off of these type of big gatherings where everyone's acting like everything's back to normal? Or, I mean, is it whatever? Just go about your day and find out, if you get this variant, it does anything bad to you?
Well, I think the people who have chosen not to get the vaccine don't care. They're just, that's where they are. And they are going to say, they're going to think the same thing that they thought a year ago. Those that have the vaccine, I think there's going to be a good group of people that are going to be like, you know what, I'm vaccinated. I have the, the necessity to fight. What I think we need, and this is more of cultural, first of all, masks should just be our culture from now on. I'm going to be honest here.
Yep.
We had like record low flu numbers last year, and a lot of it was because not many people were traveling and stuff, but a lot of it was because we were washing our hands, hand sanitizer, wearing masks, staying away from each other. Like, you can still go, like, I didn't stop over the past year or so. Like, I was still going to breweries, talking to people, hanging out. I'm not really shaking many people's hands anymore, but I'm elbowing and, doing fist bumps like Howie Mandel. Like, there's a lot of cultural changes. I understand what you're saying, Dan, of us moving too back too fast. But I think if we continue the cultural changes we started at the beginning of this pandemic, mask up, safe distance, doing more things to prevent the disease will limit, the disease itself. I don't think we're going to eradicate it. I think we're here. I think we've talked about it on the show where this is going to be the rest of it. And we're going to have variants every year. And there's probably going to be COVID boosters like a flu booster. And you're going to go into CVS and get both shots on the same day. Like, these are the things that we're going to start to see just because we have to. Again, I don't know if there's sooner or later, there's no such thing as too soon. Like, I don't foresee our government giving another package, and therefore I feel like we have to live with whatever we have left. And we have to make that decision societal. And honestly, that fears me more than anything is a societal change. I'm going to go get another beer, but I will pass it off. Dan, you could choose who's next.
Wendy, what do you think on this?
I don't think that it's too soon. I've made my opinion pretty clear that, one, I'm just a massive confusing ball of opinions when it comes to all of this. I will say that I went on a cruise last week, and it's the first time I have come back from a cruise without getting sick at all. Normally, I come back and I have some type of sinus infection or some kind of infection. I think people are being a lot more diligent, especially in situations like that, about, we had to wear a mask. You either had to be vaccinated or you had to be masked if you were in any public situation, because obviously 12 and under can't be masked or couldn't be vaccinated in time for us to go on the cruise. So if you were in a public place, you had to have a mask on. If you were in an adults only spot, then you could take your mask off. But I swear to God, like every 20 feet on the boat, somebody was asking us to put hand sanitizer on. They were washing things constantly. I was more diligent about making sure that I'm washing my hands everywhere I go, before I eat, after I eat, after I leave a bar, before I take a drink at a bar, like everything. I just think people were a little more cautious about those kinds of things. Like I said, first time I've ever gotten off a boat didn't have some type of virus that I had caught. So I think that it can be done. We can't stop people from going out in public and doing these things. We have to find some way to bring normalcy back to our lives. But it really is going to be, just like Ken said, societal. Like, people have to just put the damn mask on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really doesn't hurt you if you're wearing it. Put it on and be safe about it so that we can stop having all these things come about. We're never going to get rid of variants. They're always going to be there, one, because we're using hand sanitizer every 20 feet. That's just a fact of the hand sanitizer. That's something that happens. I mean, scientists have been talking about that for years, how all these viruses and germs mutate because we're giving them the opportunity to. So it is something we have to learn to live with.
Rob, what's your opinion on it?
I mean, not much of a difference. I mean, it's just, as far as Russian River doing what they're doing, I mean, it's just going to be what it is. I mean, every brewery is going to start, I think, really pushing to start doing some more in-person things. I mean, hell, we might see out here with Perrin, maybe they'll bring the No Rules party back next year.
I mean, I was at Perrin's birthday just a couple months ago, so
if they had
a lot of people there.
Yeah. They had the birthday celebration, so more than likely the No Rules celebration will be back in March, April, or whenever they plan on releasing it. I mean, it's just everyone is going to have their level of whatever safety or non-safety that they want to do, whether they're vaccinated, whether they're not vaccinated. It's I don't know. To me, it's just like driving. You be safe, and you be safe around others, and make sure that, you're hopefully in control of your destiny, but there's a whole lot of stuff that you're not in control of. So you try to just control what you can control and hope that is enough to get you through anything that you need to get through, the freaking pandemic included. So,
and honestly, wash your fucking hands. Oh my God. I've seriously been to so many places where I see people not wash their hands. Stop it. That's fucking gross. Wash your hands.
You need to make a t-shirt of that.
Dan,
Wow.
I mean, you're the one that brought it up. What do you think?
I'm in the same boat. It's really tough because, you're going to have the people that are just ridiculous as far as like, it's taken away my rights if I put this mask on. You have the people that won't leave their houses for a year. The variant thing, it does kind of suck because, these vaccines are not really up to date. We don't know how fast they can come up with new vaccines for new variants. So that's the one kind of off-putting type of thing. But I mean, at some point we do have to live our lives. The one thing you got to worry about, I mean, do you think, let me put this out there to everyone, because I personally don't think they should, but they've had to in the past. Do you think they need to start forcing or mandating this vaccine? And would it be possible to do so? Do you guys think that would stop?
It wouldn't be possible. No.
It wouldn't be.
No,
I mean, they had to do it for polio. So
Sure would. That's how they got rid of polio.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder, but you got these people that think, they're coming for the guns. Obama will be knocking on their door, and this is coming from someone who
he's still coming for their gun.
he's still knocking on their door. He'll be at their door tomorrow asking for their guns. So, it makes it a whole lot harder, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm in the same boat as you guys, though. We got to live our lives. You got to take the precautions. I mean, don't be stupid. I mean, if you're going around being idiotic, like, it doesn't matter. Who cares if I kill your grandma? Those are the type of people that ruin it for everyone. But if you're careful, everything should be able to go on as normal.
Yeah, I think there's just, again, a lot of it's societal. There's absolutely no way we're ever going to get a vaccine mandate in this country. I would put money, like a good amount of money, on a bet like that, but it's one of those open-ended bets where it's just like, not yet, but it could happen, so I can't pay you yet.
Right.
No, we couldn't do it. We wouldn't be able to do it, and in the end, we're just not. Our country, there's a lot of people that just wouldn't do it for the world, and whether their reason is that's the government tracking you, or I don't know what's in the vaccine, or I haven't trusted the science, or
Bill Gates put a
I'll say
microchip
one
in there.
thing.
Yeah, you can say a lot of things.
I have multiple friends that will go on and on about how they don't want the vaccine because they don't know what's in it. Yet they will try all kinds of holistic remedies and stuff like that that
don't
are
get me
not
started.
and things like that aren't sanctioned by the FDA anyways. Like, you don't know what's in that either. Doesn't make any sense to me. That's it. I just had to throw that out there because it just blows my mind every time I hear that argument. I don't know what's in it.
Just taking their essential oils.
You don't know what's in hot dogs either, and you're still eating them.
Government's not going to tell me what to do. Proceeds to eat 5 hot dogs.
Well, again, it's not necessarily it's the government telling you what it is. Like that you have to choose reason, and the reason is the government. You don't want the government. They don't want the government telling them what to do. That's the only reason. They could say 8,000 other things, but the reason is they don't want the government to tell them what to do.
Nope.
I mean, I have anti-vax people in my family, and not like we're not getting like anti-vax people in my family. I have people in my family believe that the votes did not, weren't tabulated correctly. I have family that were in a certain district on January 6th of this year. But when you're trying, like, these people, not all of them are together. There's not, the Venn diagram's pretty close to a circle, but it isn't a circle. But no matter what, they don't trust the government, which is fair. But there's nothing you could do about them, so you have to just deal with the people that you can deal with. But there is enough of them that make just enough of a stink that nothing will ever, move forward. We're going to get to our 75-80% vaccination rate in our country, and that's it. It ain't going to get any higher until certain things happen to the people that don't get vaccinated, and more people begin growing up and getting vaccinated. Like, it's the only way.
It's already happening, and they don't care. They don't believe it. We're not doing it. Anyways, we don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
All right. I got another beer one if we want to get into it.
Yeah, let's get one more beer one. We're going to skip the King of the Hill today and just end on this article. So make it a good one, Rob. Pressure's on.
Oh, pressure's on because it's Black Friday. And of course, with Black Friday comes Goose Island's Bourbon County, as we've already mentioned earlier. Well, there was some issues that happened in Chicago concerning the release of Bourbon County. Pretty much, people have gone crazy for Bourbon County with camping out for it. waiting in super long lines. I think pretty much every bottle shop in the Metro Detroit area that posted it on Facebook was out of the beer in not even 30 minutes. It may have been even shorter. But out in Chicago, there is Binny's, excuse me, which is definitely one of the big stores in Chicago that peddles out a lot of Bourbon County. So much so that they actually, for this year, they did a lottery, and they were doing a lottery for this specific allotment of the Bourbon County beers. So people who won the lottery were then given a website to go up to actually purchase it, which you had to make the purchase before November 22nd. Otherwise, which is, I guess, going to be their allotment expires and it goes on to just general public. Well, people flooded the site when they won the lottery, and they instead were getting stuff on the website saying that that particular allotment was sold out. So a whole bunch of the complaints started coming in to Binny's about how are you doing these lotteries where you say that I won and I get to buy this beer, and now the beer isn't there. There's a whole bunch of people who've been on Twitter, sending messages and email, just complaining about it. Binny's director of communications, Greg Versch, he basically just fell on his sword. He sent out an email to Eater Chicago, eater.com, the Chicago branch, and he said, quote, "We made a regrettable error when sending out our drawing winner emails. It was me personally, I made the error." So he is taking all of the shit for this error that came up. Now, this reserve allocation, which cost it was running for $259.99. And it was, I believe it's the Reserve Blanton's Reserve 150, the double barrel toasted barrel, which I can only imagine how much those bottles are going to cost in the secondary market. But I'm going to hear, well, I guess let me say this, is that in trying to fix the issue, I guess, I don't know if this actually came from the communications director, but some people were saying that when they tried to buy the allocation and was found that it was sold out and complained, they were basically told, well, you can buy the classic allocation instead and just settle with that, which that one is a little under half the price. It was $124.99, which had 6 beers included, except obviously the rare ones being out of it. But I'm going to curious for you guys and what you would think if you were one of those people who got hit with, or actually won the lottery, went out there to buy the beer and found that it was sold out. What would you, obviously the one thing that you would want to happen is you to be able to get your beer. But is there a solution, I guess, from your own personal side or from like the business side that you would see that hopefully this shit will work out? We'll start with Ken.
I mean, if the beer doesn't exist, there's not much that you can do. If you overshot how many emails you sent, or the first thing is that if people were purchasing more than their allotment, like for instance, if they were able to buy 2 or 3 packages when they could only buy 1, obviously you refund them the money and you keep 2 of the 3 packages or whatever. If the beer doesn't exist, I mean, there are options. You could be like, you won next year, already guaranteed. I'm sorry, I can't give you something this year because I can't give you something physically that I don't have. Next year you automatically win, and that's it. Like, I'm sorry, you have to wait a whole year. And if you choose not to do it, then you're not going to get beer. Here's your money back, and sorry. Now, if they're a Binny's customer, and they're going to stay a Binny's customer, because Binny's is just the store, and if they are out of town or not a Binny's customer, then not a loss to Binny's.
Right?
Now, there was nothing in the article that said if someone was able to buy additional allotments. I mean, I guess that is possible. I would hope that they would have a site set up where you can only buy one and that be it. But there's nothing in there. So I don't know if that is something that's possible that could happen. Wendy, you're going to say something?
So I didn't read that article, but I do have my favorite beer fairy actually won the Benny's allotment. And so she was able to get it. Like she didn't have any issues. So I'm not really sure exactly what happened and how that could happen. I guess. I don't know. Maybe he sent too many emails out. Like they got sent out more than they had allotted, but they would know by the 22nd what they had. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
There's a lot of different options I think that could have happened just because I've dealt with online signups for events and beers and stuff to where there just isn't. Sometimes there isn't a perfect solution, and sometimes people just make a mistake. And I mean, this guy is, owning up to his mistake. So all you got to do is just accept the fact that you're not going to get your beer.
Right. Now, sorry, real quick. There was one statement that was in the article that said that one private beer trading group, a lottery winner who lost out on a chance to buy the beer claimed that Benny's had violated federal law with its mistake and threatened to file a complaint with the FTC. Dan's our law guy.
Yeah, no, fuck people like that. I could show you places at 3:00 here today when I was running around that still had $150 to buy. So if people are acting like retards up in Chicago or wherever else they're selling this, sorry. I mean, I have no sympathy for people who are losing their mind over beer like this. I mean, are you really missing out that big of a thing if you didn't get those two variants? I mean, it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day.
I prefer douche canoe over the word you use.
What's that?
I prefer douche canoe over the word you use.
Fair enough. So fair enough on that statement. I'll take that one back. But like, for real, I mean, if you're living in cities like that, I can't believe people are losing their mind over Bourbon County. I mean, I can casually go grab 5 more bottles of this if I want to not wake up tomorrow and skip Saturday and go to Sunday.
Well,
I think it's the special variants that they're looking
that
for.
too, but
ones that you're not going to see in Arizona, we're not going to see here in Michigan.
We had them here too. Like I said, at 3:00, I could go get a 150 still. I saw it in the store. I just didn't want to pay the $40 for what is a 16.9 ounces of beer. It's just not worth it. So I don't understand how people are losing their minds over this. When I went up and picked up the variants I got today, I got all the variants but those two, and I casually went to Total Wine, ordered it online, and they brought it to my car. So I don't understand why certain cities are losing their mind over it while I can go to the store and just get any of them whenever I'm ready to.
It's those of us east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
I was going out to Anaheim last month and just seeing bottles of Bourbon County sitting on this party store shelves doing buy one, get one 50% off. I'm like, fuck, am I in a party store or pay less? Because I'm like, you guys have this shit on sale. And it was just dusty bottles. Everything from 2017 up to 2020.
I would have been just putting them in my car.
Yeah, a lot of places are doing that right now. For some reason, there's a ton of 2018s available out here right now that a lot of places are doing sales on. And then there's places running 4 and 5 year verticals on draft. I mean, this stuff flows like water out here. I don't know why it's such a hard, what's going on out there versus out here.
We're all coming to visit.
I think
plenty of beer out here.
They do a show.
I almost feel like it's set up on purpose because they almost make it feel like Bourbon County now, I'm not going to chase for it, but, when I see people going out and lining up for it, it makes Bourbon County look like it's an endangered species out here.
Uh-huh.
Which doesn't make sense. Yeah, because there's so many. Robin, you saw it firsthand. I mean, Ken's been out here for other beers too. He's like, why are there 4-year verticals of this on the shelf?
I think I bought like a 3-year vert of KBS right off the shelf.
Yeah, something like that. It's just the kind of thing.
Racism.
Yeah, this happened. Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Before you knew about it.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough.
Before
fair
we knew
enough.
about the racism.
That was the day after.
Yeah, that was back when the beer knew what color it was.
Before we head out, because I want to kind of bring it back, because we did talk about it earlier, and that was what happened at Wax Wings. And at Wax Wings, we had a bunch of pissy little people who got upset at the way the online ordering went through. And this is the actual statement from Wax Wings themselves. So I'm going to skip around a little bit just because, there's some stuff that just doesn't need to get. But it says, finally, as we have said in the past, there is no perfect online release method that pleases everybody. We attempted something new and different with this release to try and create fairness and parity that isn't affected by work schedules, online access speed, technical hiccups, etc. It was our goal to get a bottle to as many people as possible, and we did that. Unfortunately, we simply don't have enough bottles, even with everyone limited to a single bottle per person, to accommodate everyone who wanted one. We wish we did. We did not keg any of this beer. Simply beer purely to fill as many bottles as possible, but the amount of anger, entitlement, and vitriol we have received, some direct and personal from those who did not get a bottle, is beyond disheartening and disappointing and simply uncalled for. Our employees work incredibly hard and deserve better than that. In the future, please use better judgment in how you direct your feelings. For those disappointed by this release method, please know that we use every release as an opportunity for improvement, and we'll do so with this one. Needless to say, our more limited releases will probably look different in the future and less focused on an online model. That's what happens when you have an actual good rollout of a beer release. And, you're still going to get shit on by people who did not get their beers.
I'm sure those people who didn't get it are probably even going to go to Untapped and give it a 1 star.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just
1 star
because they didn't get a beer. Yeah,
right. Didn't get the beer. It's just, oh my God. I don't understand how people are like that.
And the worst, they're attacking people that had nothing to do with it over it. Like, why are you doing that? Like, what is wrong with you in your life if you're attacking people over beer?
Well, and
something that's supposed to be fun.
You're going after the server there or something like that. And she's, the server's just like, I don't fucking have control over this. I make, $5 an hour plus tips. I have no idea what they make over there. I just said $5 an hour. That was not anything else. Guys, that's going to do it. Better on Draft 272, I believe. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week. We have a live show, which is going to be Four Fires Meadery, and we're actually going to be recording that afternoon. I don't know when we're going to release it, with Wendy Yingling of Yingling Brewing.
Yingling.
Stay tuned. We've got guests through the rest of the year and the beginning of next year, so we can't wait to show you guys, bring you guys in. Again, we're going to be off on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and no matter what you think of your beer, we think it's better on draft. Have a good night.
Peace.